If you've been following my channel for a while, you know I love my Atem Mini Pro. The Atem Mini Pro is a 4-input HDMI switcher used for online events, online meetings, and even recorded video like this. Now the main functionality and ability that the Atems give you is the ability to switch between different camera angles like this. But in this video, we're going to go beyond some of the basic functionality and have some fun with the Atem Mini and do some cool transitions such as stingers like this. And I'm also going to show you how we can do some different layouts for online presentations like this side-by-side view. Let's get into it. My name is Patrick and this is Everyday Tech for everyday people. In this video, we're going to have a little fun with the Atem Mini Pro here. I'm going to show you a number of things. First, we're going to show you how to create those little stingers that I showed you, that stinger I showed you, that animated video transition. Then we're going to go into how to create this side-by-side layout for online presentations like I'm doing now. And then we're going to get into a little bit of lower thirds into our videos here using the Atem Mini as well. Now this is a little bit of an ambitious video because I'm doing all the transitions, all the animations on the fly here. In other words, I want to do as little post-processing as possible. So you may hear some clicking as I'm doing this video. I'm pressing all kinds of buttons, and you may see me occasionally look down a little bit because I need to look at what I'm changing into or what buttons I'm pressing. So let's get into these little things. Stingers are animated video transitions used to go from one segment to another. In order for us to create some stingers to be used in our Atem Mini Pro here, we need a web-based tool from HereToRecord.com, which was developed by John Barker, who's a developer and YouTuber. He has a YouTube channel called Here to Record. He's most popular for his H2R graphics application, an application used by live streamers to bring in graphics such as lower thirds and even the chat into the live stream as well. But he's created a number of tools for the Atem Mini and Atem Mini Extreme, and one of them is stingers. So if we go to stingers.heretorecord.com, we see John Barker there kind of demonstrating how we can create these stingers. And here is kind of a multi-view type of setup for the Atem. And if we go sting, you can get a preview of what the stinger will look like. Actually, if we hit refresh here, you'll see what it is by default. We can do different types of stinger types. There's a circle one. The big circle one is kind of cool. But of course, I was using the locking alt one, and we can change the color of our stinger here to any way we want. So let's put to green, and we can preview that stinger. Now, after we've done some other configurations based on the setup of our own Atem Mini, we can hit the download button. And when you hit the download button, basically it downloads a number of XML files that you need to bring it into your setup here. And then also it'll download 10 different media files actually that you can bring into your Atem media pool. So if we go into the Atem software here, let's go into the media pool. As you see that slot 5 through 14 are already taken up by our Atem Mini here. Now, if we go into this main screen, main camera here, and if I transition and do the stinger, you'll see there was a number of files that were going through here. Let's do that one more time. Basically, what it's doing is taking those 10 files and going segment by segment together in a sequence and doing these kind of cool transitions. So this is a cool way to create stingers and bring it into your Atem Mini. For us to do this side-by-side kind of layout for our presentations, we need to use the upstream key of our Atem Mini. Now, I'm not going to go over the difference between the upstream key and the downstream key, but basically we're doing a picture-in-picture type of layer. So first, our presentation layer is on our main screen, and then we have my camera here as the picture-in-picture on top, a layer on top. Now, of course, the Atem Mini already has this built in as far as doing a picture-in-picture. So if we go to our presentation layer here, and I turn on the picture-in-picture here, by default, it's this little box up here on the top right, and I can switch that around based on the buttons on my Atem Mini. But really, we don't want this little box here. We want me to take up half this entire screen. So we're going to need to go into our Atem Mini control here. And actually, I'm going to show you kind of a live view of what I'm doing as I'm making changes here. But here on the right side, we're in upstream key here, and we're in the DVE tab here. And we want to make sure our fill source is camera 1. And the first thing that we're going to do is go down here and go run to full. So run to full here. And basically now I'm taking up the entire screen. But basically it's not really switching to my camera here. The presentation layer is still underneath, so I need to move myself over. Now the way that the Atem units work, or the grid works, is it's a 32 unit wide grid basically, and I need to move myself over 16 units. So right now I'm in X position 0 and I need to move over 16 units. So if we go back into our Atem Mini control here and go into our position here, if I do 16, there's a little bit of a problem, right? My head is cut off here. So that's not exactly what we want. So let's move that back to 0 here. If we use the mask and we go 16 on the left here, you'll see the opposite is happening. So basically what we need to do is kind of use a little bit of the positioning and the masking. So I'm going to go position 8, and now I still need to get rid of this portion here. And so we're going to use that by the left mask, and we're going to go position 8 here. So now I am in the right position here, right? But what we want to do is be able to animate this. So we're going to go down here, and go to our keyframes, and say set position A. What that is doing is saving our current position, and even if we move this position, we can always recall it by going run to A. And now we're going to do another animation of me going from here all the way off the screen. So we're going to come up to here to our position again. And remember, I'm already halfway, 16 units over. I need to go another 16 units to get off the screen. So we're at position A, 8. So 8 plus 16 is 24. And now I'm off the screen. And we're going down to our keyframe here. Run position B, or set position B, I mean. And now we're set to that certain position. And now we can recall ourselves going from A to B. And let's see that in full screen mode. A, B, or I can even go full screen here. So this is one really cool way to kind of do our positioning for our online presentations here. The Atem Mini can't produce its own lower thirds. You're going to need to create those lower thirds as a graphic file, either in Canva, Photoshop, or any other graphics program, and bring them as a layer on top of your main camera. Again, we're using the upstream key in the Atem control software here. So if we go into our upstream key here, we're using the Luma tab this time, and we want to make sure our Media Player 1 and Media Player 1 key are selected as the fill and the key source. And if we go into our media pool here, we want to make sure that our graphic file that we're going to use as the lower third is set in our media player. So I have this in slot 3. I'm just going to drag and drop it over to our media player. So now our overlay, or lower third, is our main thing in our media player. Now we're going to go back to the switcher here, and I'm going to show you the preview, and now we're going to go on air with the upstream key here. And now I have a lower third that's showing up right here. And of course, we can animate this lower third as well, but similar to what we did with the side-by-side layout. And so we're going to go down a little bit. Make sure the fly key is turned on. And we're going to go here, and we're going to use some of the built-in kind of features in the Atem software here. We're going to click on the lower left there. We can go full screen here. So I'm going to show you that full screen. So we can use some of the built-in features or built-in animations that are already in the Atem Mini software control. So this is one really cool way of doing these lower thirds and bringing them into your Atem Mini here. Well, these are a few features that you may not have known that the Atem Mini can do. Well, the question is, why do this? As you can imagine, it was quite chaotic as I was doing all the switching of the transitions, all the animations while I'm recording this. But usually when I'm doing this, I'm usually not in front of the camera, but behind the camera doing the production work. Now for recorded video, of course, you can do a lot of this in post-production, but this really benefits you when you're doing live streams or live productions. Now, of course, you can use something like Ecamm Live on a Mac, vMix on a PC, or even use OBS. So vMix and Ecamm Live are paid products, and OBS sometimes requires you to have a better computer. With this solution, all I'm relying on is the Atem Mini switcher itself, and I can actually use a pretty lightweight computer. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing. Until the next one, see ya.